The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean?
It's like just the dramatic zoom back into his face. It's like, yeah, he's gonna talk more, right? No. You gotta ask him no.
It really looks like a punishment to me.
You're a punishment to me. How old is Strongheart?
50?
Oh, yeah, all right. Oh, wow, that, all right.
Wait, how old's Sholmes?
Yo, hang on. For
30-something?
53, that man can get it. Okay, Jesus.
What's up, Brady? Welcome back. We're currently in the prosecution's office having a relatively okay chat with Van Zeeks. I think we're about to present the newspaper to get some more details from him about stuff.
When you get the hot gossip.
This is the least racist he's ever been. I see. So the racism is only when he's clocked in.
Maybe the real villain here is Strongheart, and Strongheart's like, yeah, so part of your job is you gotta act like this. And he's just like, what? Why? Because it's part of your job, or else you don't get paid.
Do it for the crown.
We do it for the clicks or whatever. Whatever is the similar word for clicks back in the day.
Do it for the crown. Do it for Her Majesty.
For the snaps. Get all the audiences snapping.
Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper.
Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
I like your hat.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them.
Police being competent? Dang. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it?
Hey, the police are competent in this case because you know what it is? It's basically a smart fair. Smart fair. It's basically a state fair. And you know what's at the state fair? That's right, fried food.
Does the UK have states?
States?
States. Like
You
for a
know
state
what I
fair.
mean. You know what I mean. Look, it doesn't have to be a state fair specifically, but they got the idea from somewhere. Most Americans initially came from the UK because it's a long story, but you get the picture anyways.
You know what? The fact that I got that reaction from KV, worth it.
Yeah,
the people are
think for a moment.
All the people except the people who are already living there, and well, let's not talk about that right now.
As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice.
Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him?
May I see it? No.
He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Wait. He's my apprentice. Next line. I guess you could say he's my apprentice.
Ah!
Which is it?
Like you are to Hurley then, Runo.
I didn't
Don't you
know-
rope him in with him?
I didn't. When did Ryunosuke become Herlock's apprentice? What?
When did we establish that?
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective.
He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack.
He isn't moving, though. How is he writing it?
It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask?
He's just that skilled. On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity.
But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual?
Because it's his job?
Lord Strongheart's orders again.
Like I said.
He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions.
I don't know.
I hope you're right. I'm utterly confused, but sure.
Remember that one time where we had that whole conversation about time and books and stuff? Yeah,
Why he looked like an Organization 13 member?
Yeah, I know, right?
The task is complete? Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs.
Nice to meet you? Okay, bye?
Flips him off, leaves.
Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I'd never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet... somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter.
Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anyone from outside his office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it.
Sir, okay, not strictly a Baroque, but Strongheart, what is going on here? Why are we being so weird and mysterious with this guy?
Don't
worry about it.
What is
Yes,
going
Ben Zeeks, I need you to take this man. He's not allowed to talk to anyone except to you and me.
And wear a
also,
mask.
he needs to wear this mask. But, my lord, why? Because I said so.
Oh yeah, there's nothing suspicious or anything going on with this guy. Alright. Oh, I see.
Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway?
I mean, the way you described him, I am kind of interested.
Well, I'm interested now because you basically said, Lord Strongheart said this, Lord Strongheart said this, and it's like, well, what else did he say?
Huh? Oh, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to... The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture.
Keep it in your pants, man.
It couldn't be.
No. He's holding his heart out for another. Too bad that guy's dead.
Ah, yes. There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
That Nipponese man, is he faring well?
Sorry?
Seki?
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop, and the moustache, and the jitters.
Oh!
The jitters.
Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runo.
He's fine. Thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by the International Post only the other day.
I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case.
Yeah. Thank you for the advice and for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Soseki-san. After a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. Did I hit his head?
He's probably glad Soseki isn't dead.
Yeah.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
A mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Hairbrain.
I mean, it makes sense. If he's giving off the Dracula vibes, then Hairbrain's giving off the Frankenstein vibes.
Yeah, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think. Alright, so we got Dracula, Frankenstein. Wasn't there another one from the old horrors? Was it
Dracula, Frankenstein, the Grim Reaper?
werewolf?
This literally is just the setting for Castlevania.
No,
Also, the werewolf. The werewolf
Frank-
is one.
Wait. Who's the werewolf?
I don't know.
I'm trying to. I think of Castlevania bosses, which are based off of like
I was trying to think of
Classic
characters
Hollywood
that
horror
fit
movies.
yeah.
I was thinking of classic Hollywood movies.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
Because there was Frankenstein, Dracula, man werewolf thing.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I mean, I know there's a super old, just generic werewolf movie. I just don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I'm just
We're
sitting here
talking ancient.
I don't know. I don't know if I
The
said
Curse of
this
the
on
Werewolf,
either.
1961.
Oh, thank you.
That's not super ancient.
That's pretty. 61 is pretty ancient. That's before I was born.
Most is before I was born too.
No. It's not It's not Frankenstein ancient, but like
Yeah,
they did make like a UK movie, half man, half wolf, The Curse of the Werewolf.
Okay. Because
1961.
I was thinking like the 30s monster movies.
Apparently, the movie takes place in 18th century Spain.
Good,
Cool.
Good for them.
I don't
Anyways.
know if I read this, but we're gonna go quiz the professor about the relationship of Van Zeeks? Question mark? Bye, sir? For having a rather okay conversation?
A rather insightful conversation, to be honest.
I guess we're talking to Hairbrain again. Let's go. Hi, sir.
My team is very happy compared to his.
The varsity.
The varsity. That's a choice. I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days?
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Assuming, gentlemanly, and an all-around nice fellow, really.
Unassuming?
Huh?
Unassuming?
Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Baroque Van Zeeks. What
Yo,
was
you
he
just
like?
had a pleasant conversation with him. Why you dragging him like this?
What was he
No
like?
wonder
when
he hates Nipponies.
What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Runo.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the darling of the Van Zeeks family, for its great aristocratic origins.
The little darl. Okay.
I didn't realize he had quite such a noble blood.
You didn't
Little
think
darling?
Did the painting in his office not give you a clue?
I'm sorry, little darling.
I mean, they thought he just liked himself. Let's be real.
It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learnt what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yeah, that's right.
I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really? What sort of event? Huh?
Good answer. Good answer.
Number one answer.
I'm sorry. I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yes, of course.
That's why I picked up my accent, because apparently I wasn't actually from there.
If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zeeks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow. Oof.
I mean, you can tell me anyway. It's not like it's going to make a bit of a difference.
So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct?
As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it. Yes, it's true that the man perished in the machine of my own invention.
So he admits it.
So I know I'm far from blameless in all this. But still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions to take a person's life, not in a centillion of years. I'm a man of science. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis?
Why would you say centillion?
Because he's a man of science.
There is no one on God's green earth that will live a centillion years.
Do you know how long that is?
Yes, it's 303 zeros.
I didn't know that actually.
Huh?
I didn't know that actually.
Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. Like centillion and how many zeros it has. I've always believed that all my life.
I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories. But I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Why are you
know
repeating
English
this?
too. You
Wait,
went to
Aren't
college
you an
for
English
English.
major?
Yeah, wait, it's all you know? What are you talking about?
Why are you repeating?
You know English?
Hairbrain is infectious, apparently.
Look, when he was learning about the law, he had to forget some stuff.
Like, except the part that he already knew, which was the English part, because he's technically studying abroad in a different country that doesn't use the same home language as his. So, he in fact forgot nothing.
He forgot to forgot it.
Exactly. Thank you. That sure is English there.
English
When
is
I
a
went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything.
Thank you for that, Professor.
And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
All right, Bruno. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Please
We need
continue
to
to
get
point
more-
the gun.
We need to get more exposition, so we gotta go there.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last. Only took us how many videos?
Don't worry about it.
Off we go! The 22nd of October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower.
Oh, I feel so bad. The memes that have been going around recently about the Brazilian edited Star Wars from the early 2000s.
Yeah, what about him?
So I see Crystal Tower, and my immediate thought is like the beer, Cerveza Crystal.
Every time I see Crystal Tower, my first thought is don't make a 14 joke, don't make a 14 joke, don't make a 14 joke, don't make a 14 joke.
I know! That's
which is me except Final Fantasy. Which is me except Final Fantasy 3.
Close
You
enough.
know, they could call it the Millennium Tower. That no one's used that before.
Oh, no, not at all. Definitely not at all. It's not in some Yakuza game or anything. Ugh. The showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times.
Swooning?
As in, like, getting, like, lightheaded.
Oh, okay.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've always been trodden on 3 times, too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. Aw. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday.
I'm just imagining these two going to a Disney park and being absolutely terrified of everything.
Oh, I guess those exclamation points was them yelling. I don't know. What's that?
Ah,
I can hear voices from up on the stage. It sounds like an argument.
it's me, I'm Voices.
Well, funny enough...
Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah, go on then, Spectre, give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices.
You've got a cheek in the mouth when you young lady, but a night in the stairs will teach you some manners.
Joke's on you, nothing ain't gonna teach me manners. Just try it, I dare you. You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and other places.
Yoo-hoo! Grexy! What are you doing up there?
Damn, he came running down real fast.
Ah! It's you here. You're here. Here you are. You here. Your ladyship. How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship.
Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Oh yeah, they would definitely hate Disney Park.
Unbelievable! I gotta have a word with you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you.
Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be.
What's it, sunshine?
Sorry.
I can hear you in the monologue while you're talking about me. What gives them? Don't tell me you're here on the case.
Yeah. I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
The enemy? That's a situation, isn't it?
Is it really that troubling? It's Gina.
A measly 5 bob? Is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? You could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Nair Odo.
Huh? Hey! That's my last bit of spending money, that is.
Why is it so easy to swipe from you? Seriously, get a wallet. You can have it back, but I have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket or diver born and bred in the East End of London.
I can just keep this, I guess.
In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is the young girl I was defending in court.
And she's still alive.
She sure is.
What's your problem, eh, Odo? Diver? Pickpocket? What's with all the name calling?
So that's not inner monologue at all. He's literally just going, "This is Gina in public."
Uh-huh.
Who is he talking to?
It's not inner monologue at all, is it, Steve?
So great. I'm just thinking, like, shows up. This is Gina. Like, he looks at the camera. This is Gina Lestrade. She's like, who are you talking to? It's just like she's on the Truman Show or something.
You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do you?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina.
I'll shove these hands up.
You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I'd assume you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
There ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. 3 years a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. So you have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Oh, Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely.
The inspector part is entirely accurate. No one calls it that.
You don't call me that. Other
Well,
people
yes,
call me that.
I. What?
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about now. Anyways, for what it's worth, anyway, investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, wait, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright?
Don't even get an answer. Cool.
Right, sir.
This raises a lot of questions.
You raise a lot of questions.
Oh yeah, you want to see my armband?
He's supposed to, he's a lawyer.
This armband is proof, in Japan at least, that I'm a defense lawyer.
You literally defended me in court, man. I've seen the band. And this badge has proved that I'm a detective. You're gonna have to start calling me Inspector Lestrade.
In that case, you'll have to start calling me, well, anything but Otto.
Yeah, no. I could call you a defender now, Otto, if you like. But it don't really trip off the tongue.
No, it doesn't have a great ring to it, does it? Ah,
You
struggling.
don't have a great ring to it.
Oh, here we go.
It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with the case I was working on.
Oh, great. What terrible things he gonna say about me in his head now?
At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Jeannie. Well done.
People just don't carry enough money anymore. It's all credit cards and stuff.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective?
You got it! Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Iris's book. You hear that, Iris? Take notes.
This is a nod to the fact that there is in fact a character named Inspector Lestrade in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Bum bum bum!
This is a reference. You have been informed.
Talk
So
about
today's
it.
Crystal. Sorry, I just looked at the Crystal Tower again. I couldn't think of it.
And then there's Iris's old man to think about.
Iris's father, you mean?
Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
Just a small promise then. Nothing serious.
Oh, Jeannie, you're so sweet.
You take that back.
But you are.
So anyway, that's how I had to go with. That's how I had to go with the test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is I don't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem. Nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Trixie and asked for help. So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Jeannie and made her a sort of apprentice.
Boy, the theme of this case is everyone's an apprentice. Got it. That was a...
You're an apprentice, and you're an apprentice, and you're an apprentice.
That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson. And brave.
Naruhodo, you gotta get an apprentice stat. Go find someone.
Well, apparently, Iris is claiming I'm Herlox's apprentice, so, you know.
No, that's because if Naruhodo gets an apprentice, he can't be an apprentice because he's the master. So therefore, he won't be able to be an apprentice. So there,
I can't
gotcha.
even make that joke. I don't know if I can even make the joke because Phoenix Wright is like several generations past Ryunosuke, so I can't say he technically has an apprentice because Phoenix Wright, but you know.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So the long and short of it is, if you guys questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Ooh, what, Una, what?
Everyone can read. Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still.
Come on, you're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper, or whatever it's called. Well, you don't have to worry, Odo.
If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left.
It's like I told you before, isn't it? The Reaper's kind of like it's kind of like him upstairs. So he knows what I'm like on the inside. That I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong might be stretching a point.
You're stretching a point.
What about Mitsunatsume
No,
in
nothing
Japan?
wrong. Nothing wrong morally. Just a few things wrong legally.
What about Mitsunatsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper's more discerning than I thought.
Again, nothing wrong morally. Maybe I don't know about.
I don't think
Soseki.
Soseki does anything illegal, not intentionally anyway. He just kind of fumbles into it.
It's like he didn't do anything illegal, he's just dumb.
Yeah, sure.
Or unlucky.
You can be two
Both.
things.
You can be both.
Exactly, so I ain't worried, I'm totally fine.
Are you sure, Gina?
What are they gonna do, kill me? Don't be crazy.
We
I don't
got,
know. We still got
this case and 2 more cases
I was
to
gonna
go,
say,
so you never know.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Don't
be saying that.
Don't be stupid, Naruto, don't be stupid.
Alright, we are out of time though, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on to the next video. We'll see you all then.